Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Plug and Play. So today we are gonna reviewing latest release from KEFINE. It is called KEFINE Klean SV IEM, which is revision version of KEFINE Klean. So it consists 10mm dynamic driver earphone. So if you are looking for a budget IEM that lets you tune the sound to your preference without diving into too much into EQ, the KEFINE Klean SV IEM might be one of the most interesting options right now. With interchangeable nozzle, a clean tuning philosophy, and a focus on musicality, this set tries to balance fun and flexibility, but how well does it actually perform? Let's find out. So let's talk about unboxing. I have already unboxed it and I have already listened it like 1 week or so. The Klean SV comes with a solid set of essentials, including its interchangeable nozzles, which I will zoom in a bit, a braided cable with your choice of termination 3.5 or 4.4mm, but it is not modular. So when you order, make sure you want 3.5mm or 4.4mm. And also a USB-C Type-C is also connector is available, and a compact carrying case. The carrying case is pretty, and it is just like its previous KEFINE Klean. It has plenty of room to store your IEM accessories and interchangeable nozzles, etc. It is a straightforward package, I would say. It is also very minimal, but the nozzle system is clearly the highlight here. So let's take a bit into the nozzle and IEM itself. So again, this metal shell. If I zoom, you can see the IEM texture is very, very refined and very, very beautiful, I would say. So let's take a bit into the nozzle here. As you can see the nozzle pattern. One is golden one and one is black one. So the sound, the changes of sound, I will explain it later on the video. And it also comes with 6 pair of silicone Eartips, which is pretty good, I would say. So let's talk about design, build, and comfort here. The Klean SV features metal shell with a smooth semi-matte finish that looks clean and feels durable in hand. It doesn't scream for attention, but it has a refined minimal aesthetic that works well for everyday use. The 0.78mm 2-pin connector sits flush with the shell, giving you a secure and stable cable connection without any awkward positioning. The included cable uses a simple twisted braid with silver-plated copper strand. It is lightweight, soft enough for daily use, and doesn't retain much memory, so it is easy to manage and store. Strain relief is decent, especially at the termination point, which helps with long-term durability. Comfort is another strong point. The shells are compact and ergonomic, making them easy to wear for long listening sessions without any type of fatigue. They sit securely in the air canal, and even during light movement like walking or biking, they stay in place without constant adjustment. So let's talk about sound. Our tonality, the Klean SV leans toward a balanced, slightly warm, neutral tuning that focuses more on musicality than strict to the technicality. It is not trying to be overly analytical. Instead, it delivers a smooth, fuller presentation that is easy to enjoy for a long period. The Klean SV overall sound signature is further shaped by its interchangeable nozzle system, which allows subtle but meaningful tuning adjustments. The gold nozzle, here as you can see, the gold nozzle leans into a brighter, more upper mid and lower treble focused presentation, pushing clarity and perceived detail to the forefront. This results in a more revealing sound that can highlight texture and micro elements more easily, but it also introduces a sharp edge that might come across as unforgiving on poorly mastered track or for treble sensitive listeners. Importantly, this added brightness doesn't necessarily increase actual technical performance. Rather, it shifts the balance so that the details feel more forward in the mix. In contrast, the silver nozzle, as you can see, the silver nozzle, which serves as the default tuning. This silver nozzle, which serves as the default tuning, offers a more balanced and natural presentation. It maintains the clean SV sense of air and clean timbre while dialing back the aggressiveness of the upper frequencies. The mid-bass gains a touch of punch, helping anchor the sound with a bit more body, while the treble remains energetic, yet controlled. This configuration strikes a strong middle ground, perceiving clarity and openness without sacrificing listenability. It also presents layering and spatial structure more cohesively, making it the most versatile and well-rounded option for general listening. So let's talk about the bass performance here. Starting with the bass, the sub-bass provides a satisfying sense of depth and rumble, but it is tuned more for musical presence than strict control. It doesn't hit with razor-sharp precision, but it gives enough weight to support genre like pop, electronic, and cinematic tracks. The mid-bass is where things got more noticeable. There is a clear lift here that adds warmth and body to the sound. Kick drums have a solid thump, and bass guitars feels very rich and full, to my opinion. Notes linger just a bit longer, which enhances musicality but slightly softens the edges in the faster tracks. It is more relaxed, engaging, low end rather than a tight, clinical one. Let's talk about the mid-range here. The mid-range carries that warmth forward. Lower mids are full and slightly elevated, giving male vocals a rich, intimate tone. Instruments like guitars and pianos sound natural and weighted, or I would say they have body, though the focus is more on smoothness rather than the sharp definition. So in contrast, the mid-range is smoothened with weighty male vocal. The upper mids here are handled with care. Vocals come through clearly without being too forward or aggressive. Female vocals sound smooth and expressive, avoiding the harshness that can sometimes creep into brighter tunings. Overall, the mid-range feels cohesive and musical, rather than analytical. So let's talk about the treble section here. So in short, the treble on Klean SV is smooth and controlled. It has enough extension to provide a sense of air and openness, but it avoids sharp peak or fatigue. Cymbals and high frequencies details are slightly softened, which reduces perceived detail a bit but makes the IEM very forgiving for long listening sessions. This is not a treble headset. Remember that it prioritizes on comfort and smoothness over sparkle and bite or analytical sounding, I would say. So now let's talk about the nozzle tuning system here a bit more. Now, this is where the Klean SV gets really interesting. The gold nozzle is the brightest option here. It pushes the upper mids and lower treble forward, making the sound more energetic and detail forward. At first, it can feel like you are getting more detail, but in reality, it is just bringing those details closer in the mix. The downside is that it can sound sharp or unforgiving, especially with poorly mastered tracks. Also, the silver nozzle, which is the default, strikes the best balance here. It maintains the Klean SV's airy and clean character while adding just enough mid-bass punch and keeping the treble smooth and controlled. This is the most versatile and natural sounding option for most listeners. Remember, depending on your dongle or DAC or which DAC amp you runs with KEFINE Klean SV, they have this option available. Like if you have any warmer kind of source, use golden nozzle. If you have kind of analytical source, then use silver nozzle. That's it. Very simple and easy to remove and plug in and plug out. So let's talk about the technical performance here. Technically, the Klean SV is solid but not class leading. Sound stage is moderately size, leaning slightly intimate rather than expansive. Imaging is stable and easy to follow, though not razor sharp. Instrument separation is decent, but the Wyman tuning means edges are slightly softer compared to more analytical sets. Detail retrieval is respectable here, but it doesn't aggressively highlight micro details. Instead, it presents them naturally within the mix, which fits its overall relaxed and musical character. So KEFINE here did a very good job. So let's talk about the pros and cons here. So the pros is warm. It is warm, smooth, and musical tuning. Interchangeable nozzle adds flexibility here. Comfortable and lightweight design. Good build quality with metal shell. Non-fatiguing treble for long sessions. Cons. If I talk about the cons, I would say the mid-bass can feel slightly boomy. Treble lacks sparkle for detail lovers. Technical performance is good, but not that exceptional. Gold nozzle may be too sharp for sensitive listeners. So let's talk about the conclusion. The KEFINE Klean SV IEM is a great choice if you want a musical, easygoing IEM with tuning flexibility. It is not built to dissect every detail in a track. Instead, it focuses on delivering a smooth, enjoyable listening experience that works across a wide ranges of genre. If you prefer warmth, comfort, and the ability to tweak your sound without EQ, KEFINE Klean SV is definitely worth considering. But if you are chasing maximum detail, sharp imaging, or a highly technical presentation, you might want to look elsewhere. So that's it for the review. If you found it helpful, let me know which nozzle you'd pick, and I will see you in the next one.